What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and it is once again Soul Exchange time in May of 2022, so I'm going to answer the question, who should you pick from the Soul Exchange? But first, download Gemstone Legends, a mobile RPG puzzle match game. Use the link in the description to start with free stuff, including a bonus hero. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to take a look at the 10 heroes required section of this for those of you who might be like newer players or who have fewer heroes that you can trade in. If you're like a more of a beginner or a mid-game kind of player, there actually is one very good choice here in the 10 heroes required section, that is Kunshin. And especially if you're lacking a good purple tank for not just the very fast rush attack wars and tournaments and things like that, but also just regular war. So if you're in an alliance that tends to use the purple tanks and you don't have a good one, if you have the heroes to trade in, Kunshin is a very solid choice. And he's great on offense too. Now what I love about Kunshin is he heals a lot, 42% health. And he gives the enemies negative 34% defense for 4 turns, which is absolutely incredible. He not only helps to keep your team alive, but he helps your other heroes on your team win faster, which is really key in this game. He is part of the 2019 family here. So he does play well with other heroes from that era if you happen to have them. I also think it's intriguing that they have the Kagan costume over here, because he does 514% damage to the target, which is a whole lot, but he's slow. So that's kind of a bummer for this effect. You would hope he's hitting like everybody, but all allies do get plus 12% mana generation for 5 turns. That's a long time, and all allies get plus 46% defense for 5 turns. So if you happen to be, again, a beginning to mid-tier player, maybe you already have Kunshin or a good purple tank, he could be an intriguing alternative. I wouldn't necessarily go all out for him unless you just have a bunch of extra heroes and you're curious. He would be awesome on like the very fast rush attack wars and tournaments. Now, when we get to the 15 heroes required area here, there's a bunch of good ones here. In fact, you can hardly go wrong with any of them here. For one, we have Grimble, who destroys all minions. We have a bunch of minion heroes now who have really big, hard to kill minions, and he's going to come in handy. So if you're having trouble with the minion meta, maybe you want to go after Grimble. I think that would be a solid choice if you need that help. Devonna is a relatively recent hero. I don't think she's actually the best of the 15 heroes required here, but she is solid too. And she summons a Lynx minion with 35% HP and 35% attack inherited from the caster, and that's a big minion. And so this is another not only minion creator, but minion hate type of hero. My gosh, the 15 heroes required section on this is so good. I think you could pick any hero here and be happy. Lady of the Lake, perfect for rush attack wars and tournaments. Because she is slow, but once she goes off, she makes it almost impossible to allow any specials to go off. So, for example, imagine you're attacking a team with her. Once she creates the minions for her team, not only does she heal and keep the team alive, but now they're preventing your team from firing the specials, or vice versa. So, excellent one if you don't have Mother North and if you don't have enough heroes to trade in for Mother North, because I think Mother North is the big time get here in this particular exchange. But we'll talk about that in a moment. Enzo is a hero who I have. I think he's a little bit underrated because not only does he attack and deal damage to opponents, but he heals your team with that too. I use him on my boom or bust team. I don't think he's for everybody. I certainly would, you know, I think there's a lot of reasons to not trade in 15 heroes for Enzo, but I do want to point out, if you have the right synergy like I do, where you can put like Wilbur, Enzo, and another area of effect red damage dealer that you can basically all do at fast speed because you give them enough mana troops, then he could be really good for a team setup like that. And then lastly, there seems to not be ever enough cleansing healers in this game, and so of course Ariel's good, but not only that, allies get plus 24% mana generation for 4 turns. So not only does she cleanse, but she makes the team faster. This whole 15 heroes tier is maybe one of the best they'll ever have. I can't imagine. I mean, maybe this will get better and better over time. Otherwise, they couldn't keep enticing you to use the soul exchange. But holy cow, that's a really good tier right there. Now let's look at the last tier. I don't think that the last tier is quite as good, but like, I mean, good as in like for how many heroes you have to spend to get it. But the all-star here is Mother North, like I was saying. Mother North used in not just rush attack or tournaments where she shines in particular, but any kind of raid defense. Just stick her in the corner, let her revive the team. You know how this goes if you've played against Mother North. So feel free to go after her. I don't think I have to explain her a lot because she's super well known as a healer and a reviver. Great hero there. But let's go through a few others. You see Sif once in a while, who allows the caster herself and the nearby allies to counterattack 100% of the damage they receive. And they get plus 24% mana generation for 4 turns. So if you have a powerful hero you want to speed up, she's quite good. Black Knight, who's like the OG Krampus. Black Knight, you know, gains taunt, makes it really hard to defeat the enemy team, especially when you put them at flank, usually on the left-hand side. And tends to go really well behind like a blue type of tank, but that's not really the meta right now. However, if you don't have Krampus, Black Knight is a great option. If you're trying to put together one of those teams that has the reviver like Mother North and has the taunt like Black Knight, well, here you go. I don't know how many heroes you have, but you can certainly put a team together like this. And then lastly, we have Lord Loki, who I have multiples of actually, and is just an absolutely fantastic hero to take against some really overpowered defenses. So like, you know, I've gotten to a point in this game where my roster is not anywhere near as good as a lot of the opponents I'm playing against, especially in war and things like that. Like I've really stopped spending a lot of money on this game. I do have a lot of extra heroes, so I'm really, you know, looking at the soul exchange closely and what I want to do with it. I happen to have a lot of these heroes, so I might skip this particular soul exchange. But if you don't have Lord Loki, he's a fun one. You look at one of these really overpowered defenses, one that has like Alfreak or Frigg, or, you know, I love seeing a defense loaded with those heroes and taking Lord Loki because I use them against itself. Because Lord Loki is going to copy the special of any hero you choose on the defense and apply it to everybody. So, you know, if I'm going up against an Alfreak tank, which is where I often take Lord Loki, I use her special against herself and the team that hopefully neutralizes her and the rest of the team. And sometimes I can use Alfreak's special multiple times to have the team defeat itself. It's just really awesome. But of course, as you can imagine, Alfreak's not the only absolutely overpowered hero out there on defenses, especially in rush attack. And so having a Lord Loki really helps to defeat some of those higher powered teams. You know, I think Mother North is probably the all-star here, but for offense, if you already have Mother North, Lord Loki is a really, really great one to go after. If you need to power up your defense a little bit with taunt, you got Black Knight. There's just lots of choices here. So you've really got to take a look at your own roster and decide what works best. I would suggest in this soul exchange to go with filling in a gap on your roster. Don't just go for the best hero, okay? Because I think there's going to be a lot of people throwing out opinions like, oh, Lord Loki's obviously the best one. You should go after Lord Loki. Or like, obviously you should go after Mother North. But why would you go after Mother North if you already like have one, for example? Or, you know, let's say you have Heimdall, who doesn't revive quite as much as Mother North, but like you already have a green reviver. Maybe you don't necessarily need another one. Maybe you would be better off getting Black Knight because you don't have the taunt effect. So look at your roster. See where you have gaps. Do you need more of an offensive hero or a defensive hero? Do you need a reviver? Do you need a taunt hero? Do you need like a minion hate hero? Perhaps maybe that's the one area where you are like missing something. So you're going to have to decide for yourself, but I certainly think there's a lot of good heroes to choose from here. Good luck to you. Let me know what you decide to exchange for in the comments, because I'm really curious what most people are going after. And if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know when I drop new videos or go live. And I will catch you in the next one.